Hi, everybody. It's Valerie with the US Canada portion of Meant to Be Well. Thank you so much for joining us for the last portion of day one with our incredible speaker, Heather McWilliam. Heather McWilliam is the 15th speaker of day one, and she has been so amazing throughout the day. And she isn't feeling very well, so she sent a video for us to watch because she has such an important message that I want you all to hear and listen to. So I'm going to go ahead and press play for this so you guys can hear her incredible message that she has about bravery. But actually, first of all, let me just introduce her so you guys know a little bit about her beforehand. Heather McWilliam is her title is Courage Over Comfort When Your Higher Self Calls. And Heather is joining us from Canada. Heather McWilliam was a police officer turned mental health and human rights advocate and is the founder of Brave Inspires Brave, a movement that is inspiring and building brave leaders of today and tomorrow, with a special focus on military law enforcement and their families. She is dedicated to fostering meaningful conversations about trauma, resilience, and healing. After experiencing severe depression, anxiety, and complex PTSD from her time in law enforcement, she overcame internal police discrimination and violence. Heather left her career to focus on personal recovery and advocated for systemic change in workplaces and won a landmark human rights case. Her journey, marked by courage and a commitment to helping others, has made her a passionate voice for mental health, workplace reform, and personal empowerment. Today, Heather inspires others to embrace their bravery and create lasting peace in their lives. So thank you again, and I will give the stage to Heather's video here.
In the journey of life, we are often faced with a choice: the familiar, comfortable path or the difficult, uncertain road that leads to our growth. Courage over comfort is the principle of choosing authenticity, well-being, and personal truth over the false sense of security we sometimes cling to. It's about stepping into discomfort, into the unknown, to become the person we are truly meant to be. When it comes to mental health, bravery, and leadership, courage over comfort means prioritizing our overall well-being over avoiding our discomfort. It's about recognizing that real leadership, whether it's leading others or leading ourselves, means being open about our struggles, advocating for change, and creating environments where people feel safe enough to be vulnerable. Courage is not about the absence of fear, but it's the willingness to face it. Choosing courage in mental health involves speaking up about our experiences, seeking help when needed, and challenging the stigma that still surrounds mental health issues. It's the bravery to acknowledge that struggling does not mean weakness. In fact, it takes more strength to confront our pain than to bury it. For leaders, it means modeling vulnerability by sharing personal stories or supporting others in their struggles. This creates a culture of resilience where openness, growth, and healing are encouraged. In leadership, the choice to embrace courage over comfort means prioritizing the mental and emotional well-being of those we lead, not just their productivity or performance. It's about making decisions that might not be easy, but are necessary for the long-term health of a team or an organization. True leadership is not about maintaining control or persevering the status quo. It's about stepping into uncertainty, embracing discomfort, and showing others the way forward. This approach fosters a leadership style rooted in empathy, authenticity, and personal growth, inspiring others to follow suit. When I began my career in policing, comfort meant something very different to me. Comfort was a stable job, financial security, health benefits, and the pride that came from wearing a uniform and serving my country. It was a sense of belonging to something greater than myself, a belief that I was doing the right thing. But over time, I realized that this comfort was an illusion. It was a facade masking the deeper truth of what real well-being could be. I was doing the right thing by society's standards, but I was not well. Comfort in my life, then in my workplace, meant not speaking up about what was going on within our workplace. It meant fitting in and not challenging the status quo and keeping my head down, even when I knew it wasn't right. Comfort meant putting other people's well being before my own, unknowingly allowing the daily stress and unsafety I felt in the workplace to accumulate. The comfort of a secure job and a paycheck did not offer the psychological safety I needed and that we all needed. In reality, I was slowly dying inside, mentally, physically, and emotionally and spiritually. My higher self began calling, urging me to take a different path. It was a relentless call to prioritize my mental health and question everything I once believed. I began to realize that the comfort I was clinging to was a trap. It kept me tethered to outdated beliefs that were not serving my well being. It was holding me back from growth, from healing, and from living my life that I was meant to live. For me, courage meant stepping away from what was familiar. It meant admitting I am not well enough to continue in this environment. It required me to speak my truth. It required me to feel uncomfortable, even in dangerous times. It was a difficult journey, one that pushed me to confront deep fears and emotions that I had been avoiding for years. But each step forward, each act of courage, brought me closer to healing. The more I stepped out of my comfort zone, the clearer it became that the security I had relied on was not real. It was suppressing my higher calling and limiting my beliefs to serve others. Police culture, which so many of us rely on for safety and belonging, was full of silent suffering. The unwritten rules said we should never show vulnerability, that toughness was the only acceptable way to be. But beneath that exterior, there was pain, unaddressed, unhealed, and often ignored. We were taught to protect others, but who was protecting us? In this environment, courage wasn't just an option, it became essential for survival. I had to acknowledge that the comfort I clung to was preventing me from truly living. It was an illusion, a form of self preservation that stifled growth. I believed I had to endure, to push through, and to silence my needs. But in doing so, I was not evolving. I was not fully living. The whisper of my higher self grew louder, pushing me towards peace and love and self acceptance. It gave me a choice: stay in the illusion of safety or step into the unknown, where real growth happens. I chose to step into the unknown, to risk being vulnerable, because I knew that the only way to reclaim my mental health and well being was this way. The journey required me to redefine what comfort really meant. True comfort, I learned, is not found in silence or compliance. True comfort comes from speaking your truth, even when your voice shakes. It's about being open with yourself and others about your experiences, your pain, and your struggles. True comfort means standing out instead of fitting in, knowing that your mental and emotional health depends on it. Real leadership isn't about keeping up appearances or doing what's always been done. It's found in the willingness to be vulnerable, to face fear, and to inspire others to do the same. When we move beyond comfort, we create space for others to thrive. We pave the way for a culture where openness and healing are possible. Redefining ourselves requires us to realign our nervous system, our mindset, and our physical and spiritual health. It takes devotion to practices that nurture overall well-being, drawing from ancient wisdom that places mental well-being at the center of life. It isn't an overnight process. It's a rebuilding of our inner and outer worlds. It requires courage to embrace these practices and adapt them to modern life. But it's a journey worth taking. To understand that mental health is the way forward is to recognize that choosing courage allows us to evolve, both as individuals and as a society. Rebuilding from the inside out and fostering resilience are how we restore harmony in all of our lives. Stepping into the unknown means listening deeply to ourselves. It challenges the way we've been taught to live, urging us to break free from societal conditioning. We are meant to be well. We are meant to prioritize our mental, physical, and spiritual health above all else. True transformation lies in healing our minds and understanding that wellness is both an individual and a collective journey. We must redefine how modern-day comforts have held us back and surrender to seeing the truth by choosing courage over comfort. Only then can we begin to truly live, to serve with authenticity, and to lead with purpose. Courage calls us in the night, urging us to deepen our life's meaning. Comfort does not. Courage asks us to connect to our inner wisdom and intuition and let that be the guide. Courage ignites our healing and connects us to a greater knowledge. Courage inspires us to practice self-care, to support our higher calling, and to understand that our courage is not just for ourselves, but it's for the world around us. As I walked away from a career that I thought was my purpose, I was uncomfortable. The transition out of policing was like leaving a gang. For 6 years, I took my employer, the police, to a human rights tribunal, standing against 30 mostly high-ranking police officers who denied the rampant sexual harassment and discrimination against women in our workplace. During that time, I lost friends, colleagues, and even family members. I was uncomfortable showing up to court, feeling like a person I no longer recognized. But it was through this process of awakening that brought on emotions I hadn't expressed before, and I learned what it was like to truly have a voice again, to listen to my internal self. But I also learned what it was like to be retaliated against for using that voice. I fled my home, I lived in isolation for much of that time, and faced fear every day while checking in with my emotional intelligence and letting my intuition be the guide. Transitioning from my career with a diagnosis that I would never be able to work again due to the police violence and abuse was not something I could accept. I had not been given any time to recover for my mental health, and we all needed time to rest, recover, and heal. When we are given that time, we can find our higher calling through many holistic solutions that are available, though sometimes they are not financially accessible, also maybe inaccessible in places around the world. Choosing to start a global organization meant that I could use my experience of both comfort and courage to inspire others to reach for their North Star, despite any mental health challenges they may be currently facing. Yet in those moments, I realized the irony. I could see that those standing against me, those who sought to harm me, were themselves unwell. The system was broken, not only for people like me, but for those who were perpetuating this harm. The true illness wasn't just mine to bear. It was the mental illness of a system that needed healing. The courage I had to summon wasn't just for me. It was for the people trapped in that system, for the brave leadership that was missing. When our higher self calls, we have a choice. We can stay in the comfort of what we know, or we can find the courage to answer that call, not just for ourselves, for the mental well-being of others who need inspiration. Today, I encourage you to choose courage over comfort, to rise above the fear that holds you back, and to take bold steps to protect your well-being and the well-being of others. Let courage be your guide, and let your choice to answer the call lead you to a future of healing and well-being. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Heather, for sharing your incredible story with us. I truly appreciate it, and I hope you feel better. And I am so glad you were able to still join us, and we are wishing you well. And thank you so much for the comments that everyone is bringing in today. And Matthew Kilkenny, I understand that fear when I took on the system in 2 years of near isolation. It is true, what dies, not kills us, definitely makes us stronger. And that's exactly why we are here to share. Well said. Well said. Thank you so much. So now it is time for us to pass on the torch to my friend Andrea. And I am so excited that we will now be going around the world and to Asia with Andrea.
Yes, hi. How was it? Was it long?
Oh, it was amazing though. I was telling everyone when I came, like when we were in the green room, it's like, it's long, but the conversations are so uplifting that it's like, I think Kevin Monroe said, it's a gratitude buffet. I feel like I've just been overwhelmed with amazingness from amazing speakers. 15 of them today, and I'd have to count for tomorrow, but super excited.
Yes, I'm so looking forward to it. I was watching the sessions until I could because people know I'm in Asia, so most of your sessions I will rewatch later.
Yes.
So it's
Yeah.
really nice to do this together. I'm so happy, and I hope that you had an amazing time today and you will have a good rest. And then for the people who are watching from the US, we will actually continue with the US in the morning because Nancy Deborah Burrows will start with me, and we will go actually to the US because I'm just so happy. I don't know whether you know, guys, but it's the 5th anniversary of these summits that I'm doing since 2019. And the three of us with Valerie and Ambreen, we partnered up because we all see that there is something here that we can do for others, and we all move towards mental health and well-being throughout the times of our work, basically, or compassion work led us to mental health and well-being, and why not do it together? I'm so happy. You cannot imagine the difference. Like when I was like doing 220 hours of live streaming alone, and now I have the ladies, and I was like, it was really hard to sit back. So I was like managing myself and my control freakness in the background because I'm like, oh, there's something wrong, there's something missing, and I had to calm this person down to let it be. And learning through your sessions, it's just so nice to learn more about how to let this go and how to relax and just let it be, because it's the three of us. I am not alone anymore.
Yes, absolutely. I love the community. I love the teamwork. And I think that we all are supporting each other, everyone who is speaking, who's listening. And we're just an incredible people who are worthy, who are enough, and we are loving each other, lifting each other up. And that is what is so important in society today, and why we are doing this 48-hour summit for mental well-being and wellness. It is so, so important.
I love it. And thank you for Heather, and hope you will get better. And it was a beautiful message. Thank you for making the effort, because I think the audience has to know that also it's an effort to record something right now and to send it to Valerie, and then Valerie could play it, and Heather is in the backstage listening to us. So thank you so much for doing the effort, and we will see you again. Don't worry, we will bring you back because I'm sure that we will build something from this together with the ladies. Valerie, I let you go. I will also log out from this studio because Nancy might be waiting for me in the other one, and I let you rest, and I can't wait for your other sessions tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Andrea, and I hope you have a wonderful time, and I'm looking forward to listening to all your sessions as well. So have a wonderful day, and we will talk soon.
Yes, thank you, guys. Thank you for watching, Matthew, and all the others who were commenting.
Thank you so much, you guys. All right, bye.
Bye.